Broussard. Brew, thank you for joining the herd. We have football this week. There's a Hall of Fame game. There's top 10 lists. There's football. But then because it's LeBron and basketball, it finds a way. It finds a way into the headlines. What do you make of Nikola Jokic's agent being on a yacht in France with LeBron and Maverick Carter saying summer of 2025, perfect time to come up with big plans for fall of 2026? Like, the picture is nothing. The caption is something. What is it to you?
Right. Well, first of all, let me say I can't wait to have you on the show in a few weeks when we expand to 3 hours on First Things First. So
thank you.
What's already great is going to be even greater when you join us, so I'm excited about that. But as far as the Jokic, LeBron, Maverick Carter photo, a lot of people are talking about LeBron joining forces with Jokic. I don't see that at all. Now, what is possible, he mentions, fall of 2026, that is when LeBron will be a free agent. If he wanted to go play with Jokic on the veterans minimum or maybe the mid-level exception, whatever they could offer him, then I guess that's possible. LeBron does like playing with high IQ players. He obviously has tons of respect for Jokic's game. So he could go have fun with that. I don't see that happening. But I think this was more about, remember, LeBron's best friend and business partner, Maverick Carter, is starting this international league that presumably is going to try to compete with the NBA. And Jokic's agent has a ton of European players, as you might imagine. So I think it was more so about how they can work together and join forces for that league and what players might be able to play for it and so on and so forth than about LeBron teaming up with Jokic. As delicious as that would be, I don't see it happening.
So they're trolling a little bit because no one, they're trolling. No one is thinking about.
And LeBron may have even given him that, so like, this is how you word it, because that's typical LeBron, putting it out there, making us wonder, and oh my gosh, could this happen? But I'd be floored if LeBron and Jokic ever played together.
As would I. You are a journalist, so you know the difference between journalism and PR. And Luka Doncic graces us on the cover of Men's Health. And Luka Doncic looks shredded. And Luka Doncic, to me, is doing some PR to get people like, oh, yeah, he cares, and he's a professional, and he's working out, and I don't know if those images are doctored or whatever, but good for Luka for getting in shape. But beyond the pictures, I read the article, and there are two mentions of LeBron James, Brew, in the article, both by the writer. Like, normally athleticism is, with LeBron James level biceps and things like that.
Right.
And then there is a quote from Luka Doncic after he apparently credited witnessing Dirk Nowitzki early in Luka's career, Dirk late in his career, about how he worked out. I want to put the quote up here for the FS1 audience. He said, MJ and Kobe, they really did a lot in their careers. They sacrificed a lot. And I'm thinking, I thought the narrative was that Luka was going to learn from LeBron how to take care of his body, but he doesn't credit LeBron in the article. What do you make of it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
And first of all, it might be PR, the way Luka looks, but he had me at hello.
Oh, really?
I mean, my goodness. He looks, I'm sold. Dude looks awesome, and I think he's going to be better than ever. But to get to the LeBron, MJ, Kobe thing, we all know Luka has talked about his love for LeBron, watching him growing up and, modeling some of his play after LeBron. And you're right. He said MJ and Kobe, and who can fault him for that? Two all-time greats. Obviously, Kobe, a Laker great. But and remember who he works for to some degree. He's a Jordan athlete, right?
Yeah.
He's a Jordan-bred athlete. So he mentions Jordan, his shoe company. He mentions Kobe, the legend of the team that he plays for. But I'm going to be honest, Danny, when I saw this article, saw how Luka looked, read it about, how he's changed and this summer's different for him, I gave a big shout out to LeBron James. Like, this is a testament to LeBron James's example and the impact it had on Luka Doncic. Like, he's been in the league 6-7 years. And I know we've always seen pictures of Slim Luka in the summers, but this is clearly different, and he said as much that this is different this summer. I think he played with LeBron and saw why as much physical ability as LeBron has, as much natural ability, as much size and strength and athleticism as LeBron has naturally, he goes above and beyond to become the player he is. Like, he's not just playing off his natural ability and giving you the basic, doing the basic workout that all the other NBA players do. We know he goes above and beyond, and I think that really clicked with Luka. And I think he said, you know what? If I want to be as good as him, then I need to do something different. And he's going through two-a-days right now, according to that article. So,
but he didn't shout out LeBron.
I shout out LeBron.
You shout out LeBron. Why did Luka shout out LeBron?
Because it's his current teammate. You don't want to be all fawning over your current teammate. You got love for me. You followed my example. Nick Wright's followed my example. Y'all don't fawn over me.
Okay.
Y'all come at me. For some reason, you're trying to come at me. But you grew up watching me. You know, I mean, I get it. You know.
I see.
You rather talk about, you know, somebody else that's not on the show with you. So I get it.
Okay, I'll fawn about Colin Cowherd, who isn't here, who lets me sit in his seat. All right, well, speaking of coming at each other, I know you have a lot of practice going at Nick's lists, but I feel like you really dislike my quarterback rankings, Brew. I feel
Parsons Peak.
We called it Parkins Peak on FTF. They asked me to do my top 10 here. I was like, I'll just bring it on over. It was an easy transfer here. I look at that and I see a perfect, indisputable top 10. You see something different.
Yeah. Well, first of all, look. You got the number one right. I'll start positive, all right? You got the number one guy right. And I would put Lamar 2, but Josh Allen's fine. He's been better in the playoffs, so I'll give you that. But I have to put Lamar ahead of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, some of his injuries, but hasn't been in the playoffs since 2022. I love Burrow, but I've never seen a player ride so much off of one playoff victory over Patrick Mahomes. You know, he's riding off of that. So I would have to switch Lamar and Burrow. I'd have Burrow at 4. And then this is where it gets crazy. Is that the Justin Herbert that threw the 4 interceptions the last time we saw him in the playoff game?
Two of them were off his guy's hands, in fairness. Two of them were off his guy's hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two of them were on him.
Well, it's still, when I look at Pro Football Reference, it still says 4 interceptions. All right? It does. And so, look, I am with you, and like, everybody loves Herbert's talent. I assume, and he was great early in his career, his first few years. I assume you're saying, look, he's got a very good coach, even though he kind of took the ball out of his hands. He's going to start winning. He's going to be, you know, throw fewer picks and things like that with Harbaugh. So you're projecting. And he does have top 5 talent. But right now, I can't put him there. I would put Jaden Daniels. You know my MO, 5 to 12-ish is fluid. But right now, the tide is pushing Jaden Daniels to number 5. We'll see if he holds on. Jalen Hurts, I got to have above Justin Herbert. Matthew Stafford, I think, look, he's 37. We know now the back is bothering him. He's not going to practice this week. That's really been his problem since the Super Bowl win a few years ago. Injuries have lessened his impact, even kept him out of some games. So I think Stafford just might be, he feels like an old 37, and that's old enough as it is just by itself. So I think Stafford is probably on the decline. I think you got Jared Goff a tad bit high. But, you know, the main thing is Justin Herbert is too high, and I don't understand it for the life of me.
Let's just say the trade was offered. Herbert for Hurts. Who says no?
Philly.
No, they would not.
Now, A.J. Brown might not say no, or Devontae Smith, but I think Philly says no. How you doing the tush push with Justin Herbert?
You're handing it to Saquon Barkley, and you're throwing the ball to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. We could get rid of the tush push.
Look, Herbert, I love Herbert, not as much as you.
Thank you.
But I do like Herbert. Two things can be true. All the talent in the world, and it's tough, right? Physically tough, played through injury. But you have to be a bit taken aback and have to give pause because of the way he's played in these playoffs. He wasn't horrible in the first game when they let, Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville come back. He didn't, throw a bunch of picks, but he just didn't do anything in the second half. But he really hasn't been great in the biggest games, in the playoffs at least, so you do have to admit that.
No, I mean, yeah, 0-2. With a terrible collapse in one and 4 interceptions with the other. I cannot argue that point.
Those two sentences you just said and fifth best quarterback in the world don't jibe.
It's a team game.
They just don't. I'm sorry.
It's a team game.
That's right. It was Will Dissly that threw those 4 interceptions. Not Justin Herbert. That's what Jim Harbaugh said, right? The other team, the other players got to pick it up.
Yeah, they got to catch up. They got to catch up to get on Justin. Now you're seeing me and Harbaugh as that next level football thinking. I said earlier in the show, Brew, 31 NFL teams and a television producer. I think Jerry Jones gave away the plot in the Netflix documentary when he said it's a soap opera 365 days a year. And when we are trying to be like, why would they handle CeeDee Lamb this way? Why would they handle Micah Parsons this way? I feel like that 4-second clip in the trailer explained everything. What about you?
You're right on the money. Look, remember, think of your favorite sports movies. I like Love and Basketball, Bull Durham, that's maybe before your time. But these are movies, they're sports movies, right?
Yeah.
But they're not really about sports. They're just in a sports setting. That's the Dallas Cowboys under Jerry Jones, at least since they won their last Super Bowl. They are a drama. They are, I've used that term to describe them, soap opera that's in a football setting. They're not really a football franchise. The New England Patriots, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Los Angeles Chargers, those are football franchises. The Dallas Cowboys are a soap opera, a drama, an entertainment factory, that just happens to be in a football setting. And what I would say to Jerry, because you put it out, I thought you spelled it out well in your last segment, that's what this thing is with Micah. He might pay Micah, he's going to make him the highest paid non-quarterback ever, but he might go well above T.J. Watt's $41 million per because he likes having that reputation. It will help him among other players, right, on other teams and say, man, Jerry went way above, making Micah the highest paid non-QB. But I would say this to Jerry. Making another dollar on the Cowboys is not going to change anything for him. But winning another Super Bowl would. And I really think the entertainment value, the value of the franchise, keeping the Cowboys on talk shows like this and ours and the other networks is most important to Jerry. But they already have a sky-high value as the Cowboys. What would change his world would be winning another Super Bowl, and I don't think he sees it that way, unfortunately, because, how much more money does he need and how much more valuable do they need to get? They're going to keep rising in value no matter what. So I just think he's approaching it the wrong way.
Chris Broussard, first things first. We'll be watching later. Thank you, sir.